Well, alright, people. So I did decide to watch one match for Wrestlemania. There's no fucking way I was going to watch that, 4 or 5 hour show. I don't got time for that shit. But anyway, I decided to watch Batista and Triple H. I don't know what made me want to watch that one. But more out of curiosity, I guess, to see if it was shitty or not. And right from the beginning, I mean, it was fucking weird. So first you had, the entrances. You had Batista. The fireworks aren't even on, the pyro's not even on cue for Batista. Then he fucking trips coming in the ring, and you're like, oh god. You know he would have had ring rust if he fucking trips coming into the ring. Then Triple H's entrance is in like some sort of contraption of a car that looked like it was put together in some white trash person's backyard. I mean, what the fuck was that shit? I mean, it looked like the pieces were obtained from the scrapyard. I mean, it was just weird. And I mean, how many times is Triple H going to come down to the ring at WrestleMania in a fucking vehicle? It's like, I know you're trying to do special entrances and everything like that, but it's like, it seems like every year he's driving down on some fucking motorcycle or some doom buggy or some contraption put together at last minute. I don't know what the fuck that was. But then we get the match. And what do I think of the match? I don't know. It was kind of a mixed bag. Because you had a couple, like, high spots there. The back body drop on the table. Triple H pulling out Batista's nose ring. By the way, if a guy has a nose ring, you're fucking gay. That's just fucking weird. But, you had some, like, table spots and shit. The spear through the table. You had like Triple H, bending Batista's fingers with the pliers. So like you had a few like decent moments in there, but between those moments, it looked pretty sloppy. It looked like two washed up wrestlers, 10 or 15 years past their prime, who are pretty fucking rusty, especially in the case of Batista, tripping in the ring. But, yeah, I mean, it wasn't, it wasn't technically sound, let me put it that way. I mean, it just didn't look too fluid in there. And the crowd was pretty silent for the match. And they had Shawn Michaels out there. And I'm like, oh, this is good. They're going to do some involvement with Shawn Michaels, maybe a super kick or something, I don't know. But they didn't do anything. They did not do anything with Shawn Michaels. It's like, why put him out there and fucking tease us? It's like putting a fucking steak in front of a dog, like 2 feet away from his his nose, and then pulling it away at the last second. I mean, it's fucking cruel. I mean, does Vince McMahon like torturing us or something? So they have Michaels out there. He just talks on the mic. That's it. He announces. He doesn't get involved or anything like that. Instead, like Ric Flair comes on there at the last second, and like has a distraction or something, and that's it. So I mean, it wasn't that intricate of a finish by any means. So then Triple H wins, which it didn't really matter who won, I guess, because they're both old fucks. So I mean, there's no younger guy to bury in this situation. And then Batista announces afterwards that he's fucking retiring. Yeah, about fucking time. I mean, you don't look too impressive in the ring, Batista. I mean, he comes back, he cuts a couple promos where he's, I was watching one of his promos where he's like, he looked like a disaster out there. He's like, give me what I want. And people were making fun of him. He said it like 10,000 times, and he was spitting into the microphone while he was saying. I was surprised the microphone didn't short out by how much he was spitting into it. I mean, it looked really fucking weird and pathetic, and it was just awkward. People, instead of getting involved in that promo, they were laughing at how weird it looked. So yeah, I mean, really not a good match. It was all right at best. I mean, it was pretty mediocre. Nothing like out of the ordinary. I mean, yeah, you had a couple nice, table spots and shit. Extreme moments. But, it's just, that's about all you had. That's about the only good parts of this match. The feud wasn't great. I mean, it was rushed. These feuds now, they have big-time matches. Oh, let's just give them a few weeks to build up to this match. Like, no, give them 2 months. Give them a long-ass time to build up to the match. You know, make fans want to watch it. Not just, oh, let's throw this together last minute. They do that all the time, and it really takes away from the aura of what should be a big match feel. And here we go again with WWE continuing to put people who are way past their prime into main events. Instead of giving people, you know, like Seth Rollins or Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn, you name them, opportunities, they continue to give them to older wrestlers who are in their 40s or in their 50s. And it's a shame. You know, it's a shame that so many wrestlers in the main events of these pay-per-views are way past their primes. But WWE really doesn't have a choice because they cannot build any new superstars. They cannot build any new names. I mean, you got Roman Reigns, who is their only, you know, person they put energy into, getting booed out of the building. Unfortunately, he got cancer, and now he's wrestling like Drew McIntyre, a fucking jobber at WrestleMania. Like, what the fuck's going on here? You know, I know they gave Seth Rollins the belt. That's about time they took it off Brock Lesnar. About 500 days too late. About 2 years too late. I mean, that was ridiculous. Having the belt on a part-timer. A guy who shows up about 5% of the time. I mean, how stupid was that? So it's about time they put the belt on Seth Rollins. And hopefully they do a good title reign this time with him. Remember his last title reign? He was basically a paper champion, losing to everybody. They didn't put him over. You know, I know he's a heel, but you know, I don't care if you got a heel champion or a face champion. You got to put your champion over, and you got to make him look strong to protect the integrity and the prestige of the belt. You can't have him go out there and get his ass kicked every week or lose every match. You got to put him over, and you sometimes got to do it clean, even though he's a heel, to make him look strong. It's okay to put the heel over clean. So there you go, people. There's my thoughts on Batista and Triple H and a couple of other things at WrestleMania. If you thought I was going to watch that whole show, you're fucking nuts. I don't got time for that. You know, maybe a match or two, you know, which I did watch one. But, and I saw they had women in the main event too, which I did not like. You know, this is a male sport. It's dominated by men. Mostly men watch it. So I'm not being sexist here or anything like that, but I mean, the women are pretty much a sideshow, let's be honest. I mean, they do bring some talent, but 90% of the shit is men in wrestling. You know, 80-90%. So to have a women's main event, oh, because we're being politically correct and it's a women's revolution, guys, so now Vince McMahon can go out there and WWE can go out there and say, oh, look how much we love women now. We put them in the main event. Yeah, but you shouldn't have. It's not sexist, it's just men are physically stronger. Men are, you know, put on better matches, so they should be in the main event. And that's just physiology, guys. You know, men are stronger, so they're going to put on better matches. They're going to be able to do better moves. So there you go, people. There's my thoughts on that.